and welcome back to another daily race at Sardinia B. This is, by the time you watch this, from last week's daily races. I am racing in the Porsche. Unfortunately, I was unable to have any time in between the last race, which hopefully was my last YouTube video, I guess. I'll put a link in the description to the first time I did this race. This is going to be the second time, so make sure you go check that out. Hey, whilst you're doing it, why not leave a like? It helps me out a lot, and hit subscribe if you're new. Anyway, to the race. I've done no more practice preparation between the last race and this race. Last time it didn't go so well. I got a bit of a penalty. I don't want to ruin it. Go and check that out. But again, I'm up against some really fast guys. I did a 121.0, which I didn't think was a disgusting time. I know it's not leaderboard topping, but I didn't think it was that bad. But I'm up against some pretty seriously quick dudes here. So starting out at 17th again. Hopefully I can have a decent fight back, avoid any penalties this time. So last time I raced as hard as I could and decided not to conserve fuel. I'm pretty much going to do the same again today. I'm going to conserve fuel a little bit, but I'm not going to try and get to the end of the race without pitting. I sort of thought about it, but fuel conservation is not my best strategy. It's not my forte. So I don't kind of want to muck around with that, because I don't think I'm going to be able to monitor it closely enough to actually save enough to get to the end of the race. Plus the tyres are going to be horrible. So I am going to do a pit stop, but I'm going to be slightly more careful on my fuel consumption, which means when I do pit, it should make the pit stop a little bit shorter, because I won't have to put some more fuel in. But let's see how we go this time. Hopefully if there's no mess, I can have an even better race than I did last time. But we are lights out, and away we go in 17th. Tuck into that slipstream, because I know everyone else is going to be doing it for myself. Now I am still racing in the Porsche, despite the fact that the Audi R8 is all over the leaderboard, but there's been a really good mix of people in the field, which is nice to see. Trying to avoid any of the early race incidences that seem to happen so much. I had to get out of the throttle there. See if I can sneaky a little pass up the inside here. Okay, so far so good. First lap is always the hardest to get through. But this is the corner where I got the penalty last time, so I'm going to be looking to brake a bit earlier there. Not necessarily required this time around, but oh, you can see me go wide-eye then. He braked before I anticipated. The other thing to note, because I am going the pit stop strategy here and trying to make it work, oh, I turned in far too late there and got on the throttle too late. But hopefully the slipstream effect will help me negate a poor run onto the straight anyway. Oh, contact from a guy next to me. There we are. 3 wide currently coming into turn 1. Have a look at the pace, the sheer straight line pace of that car there, of Washy. Oh, that's my old friend Washy again. So I think he might have changed car this time. He was in the Audi R8 last time, if memory serves me. A little kiss there. It was unintentional. You get the SR down arrow for the slightest of little kisses. But presumably a lot of these guys are working a little bit harder to save fuel. So I've got to try and make up all my nothing I could do there. Literally sandwiched in between 2 people. Lost a spot out of it as well. Got the inside line. So mate, the Mercedes is going to have to give me space, and he does. Some really poor driving from me there as well. But I've managed to get away with it again because of the slipstreams of the car in front. Although, look at that R8. Even in the slipstream, the Porsche absolutely struggling there, not slingshotting past. Old mate is prepared to give me absolutely no space, which is fine. I rolled out of it. Just trying to get off the throttle a little bit earlier this time around, especially whilst I'm in the pack. I don't know if this tactic's going to work. People seem to be a bit quicker. Last race I was gaining on people really fast. So I'm wondering if I'm going to see a few more people this race stop than we saw the last time round. That's out a little bit too wide on the dirt. See if I can get this corner right. No, I've missed it again. Geez, I'm not having a good crack through that last turn, am I? I don't think I've got it right yet, and I'm a little bit too far back for the slipstream. Luckily, so is Koehiyusa. Nailed it. Behind me. Made up a little bit of time. There's someone going backwards in a hurry. That was a bit skew-if, wasn't it? So, a much better run out of there than the R8. Try and avoid any contact there. We just got away with it. Side by side again. He's going to have the inside run to this turn, though. So, I will leave space. Left a bit too much space there. And you don't want to touch the gravel trap anywhere on this track. Penalty for the other Porsche there, and a bad run out of there, so hopefully I can sneak up the inside again. That is too much curb, just in case you were wondering. That is too much of a cut. Damn. No penalty. No penalty. Got away with it. Got away with it. I was so paranoid about missing that turn again, as we are on lap 5. Oh, mate has gone the dive bomb and got it all kinds of wrong there. He's actually taken out the car behind me as well. I don't know if you saw that on the radar, bottom right. Again, just getting too much on the inside of that curb as I apply the throttle. A little bit of contact in front. Got a slightly better run than these two, but there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it just yet unless I can sweep all the way around the outside. It's a little bit too far there. Oh, no visibility from that guy. Oh, no. I tried to sneak through with the guy in front, and that has really put a dampener on my race now. Tried to go through, but unfortunately he went straight back to the racing line. And as is often the case, I seem to be the only person that actually looks at my radar throughout the race. A little bit too early to pit. I'd be tempted to pit early to get out of the pack and try and put down some good laps. But it's just a bit too early. Yeah, what a horrible lap. That's a 4-second loss on that lap. But I was well and truly far enough up the inside. But he just obviously didn't have his radar on, as I say, and he's shut the door and gone straight back to the racing line, only focusing on the car he was racing. It's always a risk in any racing. Oh, look, another SR down arrow there. That was another total... No, I did not. The game actually recognised that was an unavoidable. What is old mate here doing in front of me? He's like stopping mid-corner. Okay, I avoided another SR down arrow, but he's actually just straight up slowing me down at the moment. My kingdom for a good racer. Seems pretty arrogant, considering I'm not exactly the best. But I do often have problems when I'm racing against the Japanese. I don't know why. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the Japanese. They are very good, very fast racers, but every time I seem to race with them, I have these issues where they just don't see me coming. Go the late switchback. He does brake very late. I didn't want to go too deep then, because I thought this guy's already reverse run into me, if that's a thing, by stopping mid-corner. I was a bit too deep in that one. Now I'm going to pit at the end of this lap, unless our mate in front of me doesn't. Oh, unless he does, sorry. But I'm hoping there's a few more people pitting, because if there's not, I could be in a bit of strife. Put on the old block pass there. He still finds a way to run into me, more than a car's width on the outside of the track there. He still manages to run into me, but again, Gran Turismo, to its, you know, to be fair to Gran Turismo, that is 3 times now I've made contact with that car, none of which were my fault, and none of which gave me an SR down arrow, so here goes the strat, here goes the strat. I'm going to have to push very, very hard from now. I don't actually think I saved any fuel at all. I felt like I tried to, but maybe because I had a cleaner run or something. That should get me across the line. So it's put me to stone motherless last. This strat may not pay off at all for me. Maybe I really should have gone the fuel saving. Certainly in a higher caliber field than I would have liked in terms of pace. Not in terms of racecraft, mind you. Right, quality laps to the end. I just have to see if I can hold on any pace. I'm 4 seconds behind second last. It's not going well. There's not been anywhere near the accidents this race that there was prior, so I'm thinking the pit stop might not be the strat, but let's find out, hey, let's wait. There you go, there's at least one more person in the pits. Oof. Half a second penalty. Took a bit too much of the track there. Where's old mate coming out of the pits? I didn't overtake him, so he's got that pit stop done in and out without losing position. So things are not shaping up well. And a half-second penalty to serve. Disaster. It's not the worst place to serve a penalty though. Some of them, like I think is at Le Mans, as you get onto the straight, you serve your penalty and you easily lose a lot more time than what your actual penalty says. So we've got some more people going in the pits. I'm wondering if I'm not just too far behind these people to actually get any benefit from it. Pace is not there. Okay, so I've got past one person, and I can also hope that towards the end of the race there's a few people that just get their fuel strategy wrong, a bit too aggressive on the tyre wear. Yeah, I mean the leaders are all pitting now, but just way too far behind them to get any benefit from a lot of these people pitting. Still a couple more. Let's see how we go. It's showing as 16th, but these guys are going to be coming out of the pits behind me. Whoa, there's one. Some guys leaving it really late. I don't really see the point in that, because what you're ultimately doing is electing to stay on old hard tyres when you could have just pitted for some fresh ones, which is why I sort of split the race in the middle. Fair old gaggle of cars in front of me, but I don't think there's a lot I'm going to be able to do about it now as we cross the line to begin lap 12. Just 3 to go for the race. Someone's dropped it. It's another Aussie. He's not going to be able to defend against me there. I'll be able to run around the outside. We've got a penalty, 4.8 second penalty up in front, so most likely related to my poor fellow Aussie there, who's obviously copped a hip and shoulder. Old mate's dropped it. I've watched him do it and thought, yeah, I can do that. So I've had a fair crack at it myself. But unfortunately, I've had to roll out of the throttle and lost a fair bit of time there to 13th. Just as I started to believe. Still such a massive gaggle of cars in front of me. And make sure I'm close enough to benefit from any mistakes or crashes like that last one. Someone else goes in the pits. At least I'm consistently in the 121s on worn tyres as well, so that's sort of the race pace I was hoping for a little bit earlier on in the race, but that's up to 13th. I'd imagine that that is the kind of guy who's tried to get to the end of the race on a single tank of fuel and gotten this far and realised he wasn't going to make it, which is why I elected against doing that, because I had a feeling that I'd get out there, save as much fuel as I could and have that horrible realisation that I'm not going to make it unless I go into some mega fuel saving strategy and end up lapping that slowly anyway. At least this way I can just run my race, push hard, and with a couple of laps left on the board I can see 9th position. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be able to do anything about that, but the fact is I'm 1.3 seconds behind 12th and another 121, so at least my last 4 laps have been consistent. Yellow flag, that's down to a second, so I may well be able to race with these guys at the rate I'm catching them, plus if they keep up bickering like that. You definitely don't want to run onto the gravel, it slows you down so much. I've just dropped a bit of time and I've got a half-second penalty for it. Got that corner wrong as well. But of course I won't serve it until next lap, which is unfortunate because it means I'll be serving the penalty on the final lap. It's only half a second. Starting to feel that aero wash from the cars in front now. Looks like I have again got my fuel strategy about right. I've got another half-second penalty for that final turn, so it's now 1 second. Not ideal. I'm going to be right on the money with fuel too. As close as I am, I think I'm going to be at the mercy of these guys in front of me making some mistakes. Which is a shame. I would have liked to have been able to mount some fights here. At least I've got a nice 5.5 second gap. Now, oh, that guy's got a holy Jesus, here comes the kamikaze himself. Absolutely yeets his way into the side of me. I'm sorry, I had my radar on, but you were far too back. Now, the good thing is I'm actually going to end up 11th here because old mate has a 5-second penalty he's going to drop back. So after all of that, I ran out of fuel. Ooh. On the line. I ran out of fuel. Whew. Well, that was a rather unexpected and exciting end, wasn't it? The build-up was massive. I thought I was down and out way back in 18th position going, my race is run and done. I've managed to get back to 11th, so still no great results, but I'm in a pretty top quality field. And anyway, that is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Another daily race C bash up. My DR probably took a lot more of these, but I went up 6 positions again. So if you think about it, in the last 2 races I've gone up 13 positions. That's not too bad. Make sure you check out the last one. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're new. Hit like to show some appreciation. My channel loves it. I love it. Thank you very much. Can't wait to talk to you all next time. But for now, it's goodbye. What's with the finger guns? Why am I giving finger guns and winking now? I don't know where that came from. Anyway.